body goes into a state of autonomic arousal, or otherwise known as sympathetic nervous system activation, another way you might hear this called is fight, flight, freeze. All of these refer to when your body senses danger and it's making a bunch of chemical changes to help you escape danger. When you're in actual danger, this could be life-saving and really helpful. But when you're not in danger, it can produce symptoms of anxiety, restlessness, stress, nervousness, overwhelm, anger, irritability, and all of the other symptoms that are a part of your unique flavor. And so the conversation that came up recently is the relationship between adrenals and paranoia. So when your brain thinks that there's danger, it will send signals to a part of your brain that's called your amygdala. The amygdala is the emotional seat of the brain. And when the amygdala discerns that danger is afoot, it will send a signal to different parts of your body, specifically to your adrenal glands, which will release adrenaline and cortisol. Adrenaline and cortisol work together to produce a fight, flight, freeze response where it will speed up your heart rate. It will speed up your respiration. Your breathing will speed up, but maybe get more shallow. Your symptoms of anxiety can move throughout your body. So you might find that the adrenaline goes into your gut and you feel like you've been punched in the gut. And then it may go up into your chest and your heart may race. It can go from side to side. So you might feel like shooting down your left arm, but then you may feel tingling in the right side of your face. These are all effects of your nervous system activation. And these are effects of adrenaline and cortisol being released. The other thing that can happen is when there's acute danger, your amygdala will actually shut down a part of your brain called the prefrontal cortex. Your prefrontal cortex is the logical part of your brain. It's the analytical part of your brain. Your prefrontal cortex is able to look at the context of what's going on and decide if this is an irrational response or if we're actually truly in danger and help you respond accordingly. But when the amygdala's danger signal is so high, it will override that. And this is where paranoia can play a role. When our body is in a state of autonomic arousal, fight, flight, freeze, sympathetic activation, and we don't have that logical gatekeeper, then we can start having emotional thoughts or emotional feelings that are looking for danger. So as an example, somebody has a history of trauma and their nervous system is attuned to everything that's happening around them. They hear every single little sound because they need to be detecting if there's danger coming. They see things and shadows in the night, and maybe you've heard of it as your eyes playing tricks on you, but the brain is looking for evidence that there's danger so that it can be safe, it can get away. So you're hearing all of the things, you're seeing little shadows or things that may not actually be dangerous, or maybe it's like a dresser or something that's not another antagonist in your life. And then your brain will start to try to put these pieces together, but all the information is fragmented and confused, and you don't have that full logic. And so then we can start to experience emotions of paranoia. That paranoia is where we start to assign meaning that may not actually be valid or real. So as an example, I had a client once, and when she was really anxious, her eyes would play tricks on her, especially in the dark. And she would look in the direction of her door, and she had a dresser, and on the dresser she had this like little doll. You know, this girl she was young when I spoke with her. And she felt like the doll was a ghost or a figure or something dangerous coming at her. And she'd look at it, and then she would have paranoia. She would have this feeling like, oh my goodness, something is in the room. And she had anxiety. She had panic. And so the nervous system activation changed her senses, shut down her ability to be logic, and she became more anxious, which then, of course, creates this snowball effect of her symptoms. And so if you're experiencing paranoia from acute stress, if your nervous system is telling your adrenal glands to release all of the stress hormone, but you're not actually in danger. If it's just paranoia and anxiety and stress and you're safe and you know that logically, but you just can't get the rest of your brain and your body on board, there's something that you can do. The first thing you want to do is we want to turn on the areas of the brain that have been shut offline by the stress response. And so the best way to do that is to use grounding techniques. So what temperature is it? Am I hot or am I cold? What color are my socks? What do I hear? What do I smell? What is the texture of my fingernails? What is the texture of something that I can pick up? Oftentimes I have my clients wear a bracelet around their wrist and they feel the texture of their beads. I use a panic pack with people. A panic pack has essential oils in it so you can smell the oil. What do I smell? Oh, I smell lavender. Ice can be incredibly helpful if you're feeling paranoid, anxiety, if your heart is racing, your breathing is shallow, you have air hunger, you feel like you can't get a good enough breath, you're restless, your muscles are spasming, you can't hold still, you're overwhelmed and claustrophobic and hot. Putting cold specifically around this part of your face activates your vagus nerve. It shifts you from that fight, flight, freeze into a parasympathetic state to calm your nervous system. And so placing it on around your eyes for about 30 seconds, taking a break, and really working on grounding your body. It is here. It is now. I am safe. These are thoughts. These are emotions. And right now, I just need to open up my brain to what's actually going on. So today we've been talking about the link between adrenal glands and paranoia. And just a quick summary is your adrenal glands go into fight, flight, freeze to try to protect you, but then that shuts down logical parts of your brain. And so then we start using emotional reasoning, and our nervous system, it kind of plays tricks on us because we're not getting real information, we're getting fragmented information. So the very first thing that you need to do is to use grounding techniques. I have a ton of free information on how to do that on my YouTube channel. Make sure that you take a look at the panic pack one specifically so that you can have those tools at your disposal when you need them most. All right. Thanks for being here. This has been Dr. Nicole, and you can learn more about all the cool stuff we have going on. You can go to my Instagram, Dr. Nicole Cain, or you could go to my website. Tons of good stuff on there on how to get your life back from anxiety, stress, overwhelm. I also do a lot of work with bipolar and depression, and so if you have questions, leave a comment or send us a DM and we make sure to respond to everyone. All right, thanks for being here. Bye.